I'm Gary.
This is Austin.
Hey, Gritty.
And this is Midwest Mike's coming back at you with another show live this week. College Hoops is in full session. We will get to some of that, talk some college hoops action. Currently watching Alabama get beat by Auburn, but they're going to come back because I got them in a parlay tonight.
Yeah, I do too. So come on, Bama.
Come on, Bama. But no, let's start talking a little XFL. We're 2 weeks in now. How about those St. Louis Battlehawks? 2-0, baby.
Looking good, baby. AJ is doing his thing. I'll tell you what, the game's been good.
They have.
I've been enjoying. We talked about it last week quite a bit. I'm still really, sometimes these new leagues kick off, and you're like, all right, the hot new thing. And then you get to the second week, and you go, no, second week was great.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Again, watching, obviously, the kickoff game on Thursday night. St. Louis has yet to play a home game, but I did see, and we'll kind of get into some attendance things here in a minute, but they are opening up. They have sold out the lower bowl in the Dome.
Oh, that's cool.
So they've actually opened some seats in the upper level, 300 section, for the upcoming home games because the lower bowl sold out. So I think that that's a good thing for this league, the fact that they're having to open up more tickets for the Dome in St. Louis. But yeah, they're 2-0. I am 5-3 in the 8 games against the spread. Missed the 2 games involving DC. I guess I don't have them figured out at all. Greg Williams is their DC. Guess I'm trying to fade him. Been against him twice, and he's got it done. And then I missed the last game of the weekend last week. But still, I'll take 5-3 out of every 8. That's pretty good.
That's winning.
Yeah, it's winning. So making money.
Positive money.
But yeah, so attendance in the XFL. Week 2 attendance, Orlando had 12,000. Houston had 11. Seattle had 10. Vegas had 6. So your average attendance for week 2 was 10,546. Your 2-week average is 12,000. The 2-week average in 2020 was 18,000, but St. Louis has not had a home game yet, and so that's factored in. They had a home game, and they led the league in attendance.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the number's probably down a little bit.
And the big number from last week was San Antonio, right?
From week 1, yeah.
Were they at home this week?
They were not.
Okay, so that, yeah.
24,000?
Yeah, 24,000, I think.
That's awesome.
San Antonio.
It didn't really dip that much, and you were missing San Antonio at home. That's
St.
pretty
Louis,
good.
Which St. Louis is going to be 24 to 28.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, maybe 30. To get the lower bowl sold out, and you had to start selling upper bowl tickets.
Mm-hmm. Which, again, I think it's probably smart that they just sold lower bowl first until it was sold out, and then open up more seats, right?
Yep. Keep all the concentration in the camera's face.
Yep.
It's going to look good in there. But on the point of, attendance and whatnot goes along with viewership. Because that's where all these sports teams get their money from. Anytime you hear anything about a sports team with money, it involves their TV deals, their TV contracts, their money that's coming from the viewers. So last week they had 315 million videos viewed. So they post videos of hype videos. This is what we need to do. This is the Battlehawks versus the Roughnecks. This is such and such, such and such, such and such. And they had 315 million of those videos viewed. And these are numbers coming from the XFL. They had 995,000 was their average viewership for week 2, which is...
So just under 1 million.
Yeah, just under 1 million for their average viewership. So average is less than sometimes, higher than sometimes, and you figure out the middle part of it. And then they had 100,000 fans doing their experience live. So that's like their streaming devices. Mm-hmm. Their streaming network. So, I mean, that's impressive. Just
It is.
I mean, like we talked about, it's a new shiny thing. When you have a new car, it wears off in a couple months. Mm-hmm. This seems to be holding strong. Going into week 3 coming up.
Yeah, so, obviously we'll see how week 3, St. Louis does have their first home game. I will get that schedule pulled up here for the week 3.
Yeah, we got the Sea Dragons and the Vipers Saturday. Only one game on Saturday.
The other three are
Sunday. Yep, noon, 3, and 7.
Oh, so we got a full day of...
Yep. Thursday's the Toilet Bowl. 2 0-2 teams. The first game on Sundays, the game that everybody's going to want to watch, and it's the first St. Louis home game. Mm-hmm. And that's a 2-0 versus 2-0 team. So that's DC versus St. Louis there.
Wow, this says the Battlehawks are at DC.
No, that's right. No, that's right.
Website. That's weird. So St. Louis, 3 weeks won't have a home. So they don't have a home game until week 4. So you got the Sea Dragons at the Vipers, which I get it. Vegas attendance is probably not going to be huge. I mean, there's a lot of other things to do in Las Vegas.
Right. I mean, it's like attendance when it goes to Florida or whatever.
Yeah.
Attendance ain't great unless it's college ball.
Right.
But, I mean, I think you get guys, you get a few people in there, you're good. You probably gauge it by more of the cities that don't have a lot of stuff. San Antonio. St. Louis has stuff to do, but
it's not on the level of those big giant cities like that.
No, and I think so. No. And I think there's probably a decent number of fans there that are hungry for some football.
Yeah,
because they use that Rams.
They don't have to drive.
Yeah,
6 hours to Indy or 5 hours to Indy, and they don't have to drive.
Yeah,
4 hours
over
to Kansas
here.
City. Yeah,
yep. They can just go there and see a former pro. I mean, AJ's doing a good job.
Yep. So St. Louis at DC, Orlando is at Arlington, and then you've got San Antonio at Houston. So
that game that'd be a pretty good turnout.
Actually, San Francisco or San Antonio with Houston's going to be fun.
I would assume that's going to be a pretty big turnout because you're talking about
two Texas
cities
teams
that are not really that far apart when you talk about how far teams travel, how far fans travel for sporting events. They're not that far apart by any means. I mean, Kansas City fans drove down to Houston, which is 12 plus hours.
No problem.
No problem at all. Yep, I'm hopping in my car. I'll be there in the morning.
Yeah.
You know.
Pretty much. So that's good. But yeah, it's going well. I mean, no one's surprised that the Rock's involved in something that it's doing well. I think Rock's doing a good job too of not trying to overshadow anything. You know what I mean? Like he's there. You know, he's an owner, but like he's not.
Even in week 1, he didn't really want to.
Make it about him.
Yeah, he didn't want to make it about him, and you could tell in the interviews he's like, "No, this is about them. You know, this is their second chance. This is what they want to do for a living. This is all about them. You know, I just put a league together. I'm running a league. You know, with these other owners, with these other investors.
Obviously, Danny Garcia. You know, his former ex-wife.
Yep.
And then, you know, his other principal owner.
Who is the other owner? Who owns does Dwayne own the most?
I'm not sure how it's split.
I'm assuming he does.
I'm sure he
scooped it up. He scooped it up immediately.
Really, really good about having really good partners around him, really good team around him all the time. So I know he's got people involved that are really, really knowledgeable about this.
Dwayne Johnson, ex-wife Danny Garcia.
Is that it?
No, there's a third guy.
Oh, here we go. The owners are over here.
That's all it says.
Alpha Aquatio LLC, Redbird Capital. Ours, Redbird Capital Partners is the.
But there's a third, like the guy that
there's a third guy.
Yeah,
it's listed here. It's listed here as Redbird Capital Partners. So probably who's ever in charge of that is like another guy, big guy.
Yeah, they purchased it for $15 million.
I feel like that's a steal.
Yeah,
but I'm sure nobody. I mean, that means they really didn't have a lot of people that were like, "I'm going to step up and take care of this thing."
Right.
Redbird Capital Partners.
And it's not a surprise that The Rock snatched it up. You know, he's a great personality. There's no scandals behind him, so he's an easy guy to want to support and get behind. You know, so I'm pretty excited to see what he has going forward for these teams, not just this year, but going into the future, like expansion teams.
I found
Jerry Cardinal.
Jerry Cardinal. Yep.
Jerry Cardinal's the third guy.
He runs the Redbird Capital. So it's $7.5 billion worth of assets in this investment firm. I figured they would have partnered up with some kind of private equity, something or other. And so The Rock is, I don't know who owns, more percentage or whatever. I don't know if it has that, but like the money is at Redbird because they got a ton of it.
They got the backing.
And then The Rock and them just kind of guide it. $15 million. $15 million.
Yeah.
I feel like and the thing is too, if they have somebody behind them that's like big money, it's a long-term idea. So it's not like, 1 year we didn't do well, like we're going to get rid of it.
Yeah,
because I think McMahon, he needed it to work immediately or he was jumping out. These guys, I feel like, can go 3 or 4 years and then go, okay, maybe it's not.
And I think it may have continued to work in 2020 at COVID.
Yeah, probably. But so interesting. Well, but I think we're all happy the XFL is going in a positive way.
I like the viewership numbers.
That's pretty.
Those
sweet.
are good numbers.
Attendance can be skewed, right? Because you have other things that have been going on in the country right now.
Yeah.
You got Mardi Gras. Well, a lot of people leave and travel into New Orleans for Mardi Gras. You know, a lot of St. Patrick's Day stuff is starting to pop off. They're having their own. Every little city's having their own little parades and whatnot. That takes away from attendance from other events that the NFL doesn't have to deal with.
Yeah, I will also kind of be interested to see how they do, the weekend of March Madness starting.
Yeah.
That first weekend. I think probably your attendance numbers and viewership numbers will drop a little bit that weekend.
What number do you think it'd have to be at? Because you said the average this week was...
Like
12,
10, 12, yeah.
Was 12. So what would be a good number what would be a good gauge? Like that's obviously like
average this week was 10,046.
I know. I was wondering
10,000.
what are they happy with? Are they happy? Are they happy with 10?
Well, I'm saying it's probably pretty good to be 10, but when you match in the United States, what does that look like when you're in competitive to, right? Are they like, okay, if we can get through this weekend and we average
7 or 8.
7 or 8, I was going to say 65. If we average 6,500, our viewership's probably going to be down because March Madness is on everybody's TV. You're not going to see the XFL in the bars. You're going to see college football. You're going to see college basketball. I'm interested in understanding and knowing what their bar is going to be. Okay, if we're here, I think we're good trajectory-wise,
Yeah, I think I'm probably with you guys somewhere 65 to 8,000 attendance-wise. Because, March Madness is, other than the Super Bowl, I believe it's the biggest sporting event every year. And that first weekend is, amazing, right? Because you've got games pretty much for 12 solid hours, all day Thursday, all day Friday. Saturday, it's more like 9 hours.
We'll have to jump off in that.
Then 12. But, yeah,
radar sporting events.
We'll be that's a good topic for another show.
March Madness will be even better this year with gambling being more legal and more
around here I would say because
for sure
other states have had it,
like the new states, whoever the new states are,
right? Like around Kansas City. Yeah. It's going to be around Kansas City.
Bars
Columbia.
Will probably be more packed than your Missouri bars.
Yes, 100%.
Just because of Missouri not.
Missouri fans will bring over the March Madness goodies to the Kansas people's houses so they can gamble.
Yeah.
And the Kansas people can enjoy the goodies.
Yeah, Austin and I will actually be in Vegas for that first weekend of March Madness this year. And then in April, week 10 of the XFL, April 22nd, we are going to go to the St. Louis game over in St. Louis, all three of us.
Are we going to go see an undefeated football team?
It could be.
We very well could.
AJ McCarron, and I think just the way everything's setting up, like how they attack the game, sets up perfectly for how they play.
Yeah. So
Right?
it'll be Orlando at St. Louis that week
Yeah.
when we go.
They just, I mean, just watching them play, they hang around long enough, and then when you, like we talked about last week, coach quarterback. The coach and quarterback play takes over the game, and I'm just like, man, this is cool to watch.
Yeah,
You know?
that's how Gary's been talking about betting it. He's like, man, I'm literally just betting head coaches and quarterbacks.
Yep. I mean, that's
Slight homer pick with St. Louis sometimes because of
You don't,
freedom.
I mean, you don't have a choice.
But you know,
I mean, you don't have a choice because there's no tell. I mean, like they put the line up there, but are they really focusing that much on the XFL in Vegas?
no, and it's not like I have the data I do for the NFL, where I've watched the NFL.
Or you know players,
for
you know
years.
rosters.
Yeah,
you
I know what this guy
matchups.
did 2 years ago,
Yeah.
or him on the road.
Like
or
I'm looking at okay, a quarterback like AJ McCarron. I know he didn't have the best NFL run, but he
this
should
ain't NFL.
he should play really well in the XFL, right? Because the defense is going to react just a little slower. The
Or
windows,
a lot slower.
yeah, the windows are not as tight as they are in the NFL for him to throw. And I mean, him being a national champion quarterback at Alabama, it's not like he played at Little Sisters of the Poor.
No.
And he's always had really good coaches around him.
Yeah, so
And to be honest with you,
'Cause he was a
and to be
Steeler.
honest with you, I think he played harder football there than he is in the XFL at Alabama. I should say.
yeah,
I bet. I
He played harder football at
Week
Alabama
to
than he
week,
does week to
absolutely.
week, week in and week
Yeah,
out.
I bet right now he's just feeling really loose.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
I mean,
all
it
right.
shows in his post game interviews, which are masterful, by the way.
Yeah, they're good,
Absolutely masterful.
he was talking about that last week.
Yeah, you were.
Go get yourself a McCarron jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that dude.
Yeah.
man.
I
Family
don't know.
man.
I don't know if I'm gonna spend money on
He's still
merchandise,
married.
but
He's
I
still
did
married-
order.
he's still
I did
married to
order a
that one lady.
Battlehawks hat.
Hey, he's
I
still,
might do that. I might order a Battlehawks beanie or something.
Yeah,
like
I got
that.
a hat so I can
He's
wear it to
still,
the game at least.
he's still married to Miss Alabama, right?
Yep.
That one lady. Remember
Yep.
her?
Yeah. Oh, Brent Mertzberger remembers
Yeah.
her.
Wow. Oh, my. Wow.
Hey,
Oh, look
hey.
at that there.
Yeah. He was so happy about her.
Yeah, he was.
Brent Musburger.
Hey, man. McCarron's doing
That,
this
that was
thing.
one of the last games he did, right?
Yeah.
Because he just couldn't help himself. He's like, "Whoa, look at her."
Yeah,
That's
but
right.
you know the one thing that a lot of people aren't focusing on in the XFL is it's giving a lot of those guys and or men and women chances that they wouldn't get if there was just one football league. Mm-hmm. You know, you see the ESPN commentators. You see a lot of women running around the field refereeing. There's a lot of women reporters on the sideline. You know, and
It's giving coaches,
It's giving
like,
coaches an
that
opportunity.
aren't in the NFL, like, or coaches that have been in the NFL.
yes, like
And,
okay,
like Wade
I don't
Phillips.
think I'm done. I don't think I'm done.
Bob
I want to do
Stoops.
this. Yeah,
Or like, yeah, and you know what? They can do it and not be
pressure.
super
It's not a
stressed.
year-round deal,
Yeah.
right?
Like, I'm sure Stoops is loving it.
Like the guys that
I
are in the
was-
booth, the guys that are in the booths and reporters, the women who report and they're in the booths and the anchors and stuff on ESPN, like it's huge. Like they have to watch their P's and Q's, they got to watch how they say things, they have to do all that. There's a little bit of that factor with the XFL, but it's not as dramatic because not as many sets of eyes are on it.
Yeah.
Right? There's not as many children watching. There's not as many eyes. You know, we're in the sensitive era right now. You know, there's not all of that going on. So I think it's great because you're getting to see these younger personalities that you may see that it may have taken you 10 years to see.
And they
at
can embrace the
ESPN.
gambling aspect a little more, too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I love that the XFL, like, they will talk about it during the broadcast. Hey, your over-under was 38.
Yes, I love
And
it.
if you bet the over, both teams just scored on their opening drive. So
With his betting and gambling and stuff, they're starting to roll in. 37.6 is the average points per game
okay,
so far in the XFL this year.
so
So it's not like it's just not good games. You know what I'm saying?
and
Like, they're not-
I thought they've all been pretty good.
yeah. Except
and
for last
you're-
week, somebody scored 6. Poor guys.
yeah, and I mean, at this time of year, your defense is going to be a little ahead of your offense. I mean, you see that early in the NFL season too.
I don't know. I don't know.
So you
I don't
guys
know
got
what that's
point-
like.
the first couple weeks.
I don't
mean,
know what that's
obviously Chiefs fans.
I don't know what that's like. I'd
mean,
much
you
rather
have-
my defense be good late.
you have a
like it
once-
always is.
Yeah, that's true.
You have a once in a lifetime quarterback too. So you know.
I don't know what you're talking about. The defense is better than the offense early. That must be a Dallas
But
thing.
especially in the XFL, it's been like that.
So you think point totals are going to be going up.
I think they will go up.
Oh.
And I think
Gary's calling for the overs.
Wow, well, you got to check the number.
I know Gary's calling for the overs in these games.
I mean you gotta check the number.
I mean, they've all been like the overs in the games, like the over unders in the games have been around that 35 to 38 mark. Which, looking at 37, like that's that they're pretty good.
Right,
they're pretty accurate.
Yeah,
Vegas usually isn't very far off. But there was a game last week that was 30. The over under was 38.5 or 37.5,
All right,
and it was 38.
All right, here's your over-unders for the games. Seattle, Vegas, over-under 38.5.
Okay.
St. Louis, DC, over-under 37. Orlando, Arlington, over-under 37. San Antonio, Houston, over-under 36.5.
They're all right there.
there.
They're all right
So
there.
That make you just want to stay away from those.
Just reading those through.
And the average being 37.6.
So you
The
think
two that jump out at me that scream under are St. Louis, DC,
under 37?
under 37, and then what was the Houston?
Yeah, Houston, San Antonio's over-under is 36.5.
So I would go under on that one also. I would go under on those two, mainly because your defensive coordinator in DC is Greg Williams, who is a former NFL guy. Obviously got in trouble for Bountygate, so he has not been back in the NFL. But say what you want, good defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but
And then Houston has Wade Phillips, who is not the defensive coordinator, but I think
he's got
probably
a defensive mind. Yeah,
is the defensive coordinator.
Yeah, I mean,
he's training a young cat.
in that San Antonio Houston game, it's hard for me to say the under in that game, just because, like you said, the defenses are going to be a little bit slower. I think, and those are the two highest scoring offenses in the league so far.
They are?
Yeah,
It's the lowest over-under.
I know. Ain't that crazy? Because he's talking about the defensive points. You're running into two defensive minds plus subpar quarterback play for NFL standards. We compare everything to the NFL because that's the king. For subpar quarterback play there, I think that might be, what is that, 36.5 you said it was?
Yeah. You like the over there?
I would take the over there. I think they're just scoring. I think both of those teams score
You have
relatively
to
quick.
almost go back and look at the other games and say,
I mean, 30 and 23 is what they scored last week.
was it the defense that put him in the position to score this much?
I know.
And that's the wonderful thing about this early, being this early in the league is we're not watching those games for that factor.
Hey, St. Louis, a dog again, +2.
Oh,
Yeah, I like that a lot.
against DC.
DC.
So let's see. Houston, week 1, they allowed 12 points to Orlando.
Oh,
Orlando, the +8.5. Dog.
And then Houston, week 2, allowed 14 to Arlington. Mm-hmm. So their defense is only
defense
giving
is
up
good.
essentially 2 scores a week.
yeah.
So that's why I'm saying I like the under there.
And who's the DC there again? Is that Greg? No, where's Greg at?
What is
Greg
San
Williams
Antonio?
is in DC.
What did San Antonio give up?
San Antonio has given up. They gave up
18 to
12,
St. Louis.
12 to Orlando.
I thought that was Houston. Well, my team's mixed
Man,
up.
almost like
too.
I don't know, man.
Well, my team's mixed up.
They're saying San Antonio. They give up 18 to St. Louis
Yep.
week 1.
Yep. Okay.
So they've given up 18 and 12. So they've given up 30 points total.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I mean,
Another good
relatively
defensive
low.
team. Another good defensive team.
Yeah.
Your DC, they gave up 6 to Vegas week 2.
I don't think Vegas is that good.
I don't either.
yeah.
And then they gave week 1, they gave up 18 to Seattle.
Yeah.
Seattle's not great.
No.
Yeah, I was going through team futures too. Your favorite to win XFL is DC, and then St. Louis, Houston are tied for
Okay.
2.
You better go put some money.
I
on
have
St.
money.
Louis
I
and
have
Houston.
I have money on
He has
St.
a
Louis
future.
already.
Yeah. Because
who's Q?
I think
gotta
this week.
remember
I think this week we'll flip those numbers.
who's
So-
who's quarterback in DC? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember the guy's name.
Why you ask us hard questions on?
Man, I don't know.
These
Yeah,
dudes-
I'm sorry.
These dudes
guy's
probably
got a computer.
These dudes probably came from the Congo or something, man.
Is it?
DC Defenders.
Isn't that QB? Is there a box score?
Passing. Oh, Jordan Tamu. Te'amu.
Oh, Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
Wasn't
Was
he
that
the
Ole
quarterback
Miss or
for
Mississippi
St.
State?
Louis?
Yes.
Yeah, he
2
was.
years
Jordan
ago?
Te'amu.
Yeah,
And
he's
then,
straight.
and then he
Was that-
got
who was
Boy,
that?
then he was on the Chiefs for a second.
Yeah,
Chiefs for a second,
for
yeah.
camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jordan
Was
Ta'amu.
Was that is that an Ole Miss guy? That's an Ole Miss guy.
Or this does not say.
Jordan Te'amu. That's an Ole Miss guy, I think.
Sure. You looking him up?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna look him up.
Ole Miss, Mississippi State.
My gut says like Hawaii.
No, he played in the SEC.
Yeah, Mississippi State.
Yeah, there you go.
I knew it was one of the
he's-
Mississippis. He's good too.
Hey, you get the SEC
Ole
quarterback.
Miss. Sorry.
Ole Miss.
Hey, these SEC,
I knew I had it right.
SEC quarterbacks.
Ole Miss.
Oh, that's the dude in the XFL. Bet on the SEC.
Yeah, I mean that's what it's looking like so far. Bet on the SEC.
SEC. Oh, okay. All right.
In college football, bet on the SEC too.
Bet on the SEC.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just
take
a
the
step.
SEC.
This
Take
is
the
a
SEC.
air quotes, big air quotes, step up from college football. But
Yes. It
we all
is.
know Ohio State steps on the field with these dudes. They're getting ran out of the stadium.
I don't think so.
Oh,
on.
wow.
I don't think
Come
so.
on, man. This is the replacements. This is
I don't.
Shane Falco playing quarterback.
I don't.
Wait, you think who gets ran out of the stadium?
I think any one of those XFL teams get ran out the stadium.
No.
I know.
These are professionals. Hey,
I don't-
Alabama, tied it up, baby.
they
Let's
did,
go.
yeah.
Pay attention.
Listen.
No. I'm telling you
No,
right now,
no,
these
no,
guys are
no.
professionals.
No.
Those
no.
guys are kids.
I don't care.
AJ would be like,
No, he wouldn't.
yeah, he would.
No, he
would be
wouldn't.
like, I beat
Those dudes are about to go play for real NFL teams and put up real time.
I mean, if
Are you kidding me?
If you would have thrown out,
they don't have the size.
if you would have,
Who doesn't have the size?
They're still growing when they get to the league.
yeah,
They're still
I mean,
bigger.
I understand that.
the XFL, the offensive and defensive line would dominate a college team.
I don't know, man. Because we're talking
I also think, too-
I didn't say Maryland.
I know.
Yeah, but
I said-
Ohio
I said,
State,
what do you mean?
No.
get the hell out of here!
Listen, Iowa, that's not fair. You're biased.
Get out of here!
You're biased. But you're going to tell me that you don't think the Iowa offensive and defensive line could go and dominate in that league?
No,
They're
not
huge.
all of them.
All of them
Not
are
all
going to
of
go
them.
to the league.
Not all of them.
You guys literally have 4 defensive front 7 going to the league in 2 weeks.
I think
in a month.
I think experience wins out.
Yes.
too. I think those the QBs that have been around for 4 or 5 years playing pro, they'd rip those.
Your
guys.
O and D lines, I think, dominate.
They would use their eyes to rip these.
I
guys.
mean, Jordan Davis got smaller when he went to the NFL. What are we talking about?
Come on, man. Come on.
What? Jalen Carter would have a day in the XFL. Number 1 defensive lineman coming out right now would have a day.
No.
And we talking about Georgia. I'm
Okay.
talking about top echelon college football teams.
One guy.
Yeah, one guy. That's what I'm saying.
If
One
one
guy.
guy goes and plays for one of these teams, he'll do well. But if you take 11,
Georgia's defense is dominating this team.
I'm saying
No.
you could name. Okay, Ohio State's a top 10 team, right?
Every year. Yeah.
Okay, which is probably why you threw them out there. They are not beating the Vegas team.
They
Who's
would
0-2?
blow the Vegas team out.
I'm telling you
And
what.
go party
No.
in their area.
No.
Yes.
no shot.
Now,
Wait, say Wade Phillips would see Jason Day's
Like I felt-
Jason Day's offense and go,
Like I
this is
felt-
going to be easy.
Yes.
I felt like that when remember teams used to do that with Alabama and the Browns and
Oh, yeah.
things like that. I'm like, no, that's true professional football.
yeah.
Those are meal tickets. These dudes, man, this ain't no meal ticket stuff.
Nah,
There's a reason these dudes are playing in for the Washington Sentinels in the replacement. There's a reason.
Yes, an NFL team would dominate them, but a good college team would not. No.
No.
I will die on that hill.
Like we do understand Georgia's sending 17 guys to the league this year.
That's 17 though, not 22.
I don't care. The worst dude on the field for both of those teams would be who? Let's use the Battlehawks for example. When you break those teams up, 44 guys,
I don't know their
44 guys. 22 of those dudes is in the top 30, and they're college guys.
See, I think
but nah.
Georgia would dominate that
Experience.
game.
No.
Even if Georgia,
Stinson Bennett would probably be the only guy that I'm like, I'm not too sure about.
17 guys from Georgia's going to the league, but only 4 of them are going to do well.
I mean, they sent
And the other 13 will end up in the XFL.
They sent 14 this past year, and they were all legitimately good.
Well, let's see. I'm not on that.
That's why I said
professional.
That's why I said that the 2 best college defenses that ever played football came from the last 2 years, and they're both Georgia. Georgia gave up 6.8 points a game last year, 2 years ago, and they gave up 7.6 this year.
I know.
Playing the best football, the best talent, the most talented teams in the country.
It's hard for me to take them over 2000 Miami.
Well, 2000 Miami, what did they give up? And I think they gave up like 9-4, which is still crazy.
Yeah, it's still really good. I don't know. I can't go on that where I'm doubting the professional team, and we'll never know. But
right.
At the same time, it's I don't know, man.
I mean, what about what was Reggie Bush USC 2004, 2005?
Something like
See,
that.
I think it'd just be too small.
I do too.
Because you're still growing. You're not even hitting your.
I like I said, and as good as Iowa's offensive and defensive lines are, okay, maybe 3. Okay, so Iowa plays a 3-4. So we're saying 8 guys, right, that start. Mm-hmm. Okay, or they play 4-3. Excuse me. Mm-hmm. So you got 9 guys. 9 guys that start. Of those 9 guys, you might have 5 that get drafted, but of those 5, probably 3 are going to be big-time NFL players, right?
And maybe not even big time.
So
maybe just play in the league for 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Good to go.
So, I mean, all those XFL guys have been there and didn't make it for whatever reason, learned from their mistakes, but are still good enough to entertain and play professional football.
See, I think the experience factor would play in.
Like, I think that's
they would show them some moves that some of the kids at Georgia would go, oof, I've never seen that.
Yeah. I mean, like, when we went down to Alabama last year and hung out with Freedom, I mean, a guy who played at Nebraska, what did he want to do as soon as he found out I was coaching D-line?
He wanted to go. You guys were doing techniques on the patio.
He's like, let's go outside so I can show you some stuff.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And that's just something most college kids are not going to want to do, right? Mm-hmm. Hone their technique.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's a great debate. I love it.
We can go back and forth on that.
That's why I'm not. That's why I didn't say the NFL. Like, I was never on the side of that with the NFL.
Yeah, well, there's some guys that say that stuff. I'm like,
I was never on the side of that in the NFL.
I mean,
man,
you take
who's the word? So
but like we just talked about, Jordan Ta'amu is a quarterback for one of these teams, right?
Yeah.
And I understand. Yes, he got drafted. Cool. That makes you an NFL dude. You didn't play.
Yeah.
Like I don't care that you went to the NFL. You didn't play. Like dudes like C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, Stinson Bennett, Will Levis. These dudes are going to go play in the league. So when we talk about comparable quarterbacks, I'm going to take that.
I think
you know
it's
what I'm saying?
I see what
like
you're
I think they're on par, and that's why I only said Ohio State, Georgia.
Bam.
Like, are they going to out physical Michigan?
Caleb Williams would go in and probably do pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all 5 of those guys up front are not NFL caliber players.
But Michigan, we're talking about just strictly size. You know, size does matter. But Michigan's huge on the front side.
Not all 5 of those guys are even XFL caliber players.
Yeah, I'll debate that one. That's one of the best offensive. That's one of the best trenches in football, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's
I think all the Iowa guys in the trenches, talking about offensive line, defensive line, could go play in the XFL. I think 6 of them would dominate the XFL. I think 3 of them dominate the NFL this year.
I mean, I'm with you on the number 3 because I think Iowa every year has 5 or 6 guys drafted,
and your tight end coming out is
tight ends.
I've mocked him like 3 times to the Chiefs.
Tight ends are money.
Laporta. Laporta.
I mean, think about it. George Kittle
Laporta.
is an
George
Iowa
Kittle.
guy.
Yep.
He was in Iowa.
He's nice.
Oh,
He's
Offensive
arguably
lineman,
the number
offensive
one,
lineman
number
out of-
2, right?
No, he's not arguably number 1 at
He's
all.
arguably number 2.
He's arguably number 2 or
Ah,
number 3. Number 2 or 3.
There's people that say number 1.
I don't because they block, but I can pull up a whole blocking film on Kelsey just blowing dudes up.
Yeah.
There's only a few tight ends that played, even that are retired, that I would potentially put over Travis Kelce, and that's Gronk, and that's Tony, and I love Shannon Sharp. So Shannon Sharp's in the conversation to me. Other than that, I think that's the 4.
Oh, Shane Shaw.
Uncle Shay.
Shay. So, all right, let's transition. We spent a good portion talking XFL, which obviously football is our favorite sport.
Yeah, are we transitioning to more football?
No. Yeah. So, let's talk quarterbacks. We touched on it last week. You got Derek Carr, who is a free agent. You've got Aaron Rodgers, who may or may not go back to the Packers. So those are the 2 biggest names. Who am I missing?
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
He's obviously going to be on the move. Justin Fields has to be a big name. That's an option.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo's probably going to be a name that gets floated out there.
So let's.
Are they
Jimmy G's a free agent.
Are they going to move Trey? Are they going to move Trey Lance? Or are they going to try to use Brock Purdy and Trey Lance?
Interesting.
Like, there's 3 quarterbacks in San Francisco right now. So
which
and one of them went to the playoffs, and really, if he's healthy, probably has a chance to win in the NFC Championship game.
Right.
Which domino do you think falls first?
Lamar.
I think Derek.
I think Lamar.
I think
they're gonna
Lamar
want-
just
they're gonna want in
because
on the
the
Derek.
deadline.
Because they're going to want in on
When's the
The
deadline?
deadline is next Tuesday, March 7th.
Deadline for
the franchise tag, exclusive tag. And so
wait. So I'm gonna wait.
So Baltimore has got to make a decision by Tuesday. Are they going to tag him? They can put the franchise tag on him, which they could do the exclusive or non-exclusive. Okay, if they do the exclusive franchise tag, then Lamar cannot negotiate with other teams. He gets the average salary of the top 5 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Which I believe is around $42 million.
Actually, I think it's like 44.
44. Okay.
It's 44.
If they put the non-exclusive tag on him, it's a little cheaper. I think it's down around 32. But he can negotiate with other teams. But if Baltimore chooses not to match the offer, they get 2 first-round picks from whatever team he signs with.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Or they do nothing, and then he's just a free agent. So they're not going to do nothing.
He technically won't be a free agent because he's still under contract.
He's got one more year.
He's got one more year.
But they're not going to do
he's gonna
nothing.
hold
so
out.
he's got one more year. He's got one more year.
But he's
I
gonna
thought
hold
this
out.
was it.
I thought this was
No,
it.
I think he has one more year.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure this is it.
I think
One more
he's
year.
potentially free agent.
I'm going to look it up, but
I'm trying to think because he's a first round pick, wasn't he? He was 32nd, right? He was 32nd,
first
so
round pick.
he has a 5th year option. I'm trying to think.
Oh, is this just going to be his 5th year?
Yeah, this is just going to be his 5th year.
What do we got, man?
So I think they were trying to extend. I think they were trying to extend him out of his rookie deal. But Lamar said, "Nope, I don't want that. Deshaun's got guaranteed money."
He's looking it up.
It says he signed a 4-year, $9 million contract.
That was his rookie deal.
his rookie.
So no wonder he wants guaranteed money.
So, yeah.
Wow. Hold on, man. They've been paying this dude.
On his rookie deal.
Oh, man, I know why he's mad at them.
I mean, you're the 32nd overall pick. You're not going to get $15 million.
Like, you win MVP. But I'm saying you win MVP, and they
Yeah.
don't go extension.
Right, immediately.
Yo.
You won NFL
Patty
MVP.
had-
You won NFL MVP with Patrick
So,
Mahomes in the league
Patty
and Tom
had-
Brady in the league.
He has been there 5 years.
He's been there 5.
Yes.
Oh.
18, 19, 20, 21, 22.
Ooh.
So yeah,
He's free agents. They don't do nothing.
yeah, he's free agent Tuesday.
He's a free agent.
They've been paying this dude nothing.
Nothing.
$9 million. And I mean, obviously some change there.
I feel that's a little ill will.
But
Yeah.
closer to 9 than 10.
Because they extended Patty when he had 2 years left, right?
3.
3 years left.
He
they
won the
said.
Super Bowl the second year, and they extended him
That's
summer,
right.
next summer
All right,
before
yeah,
camp.
you're good.
Bro, hey, here's your 500. Here's your blank check. Tell me what you
So
want.
the cash due in 18.
Oh, I guess that was his third year because 17, 18, 19.
Oh,
So
was he
his,
ahead of
his,
me, yeah.
his last year he made
This is crazy.
20,
I never even thought about this or really
23.
He made 23 last year.
off his 5th year. So the 5th year.
Yes,
option.
5th year option, which is a percentage of what the
So
league,
yeah,
the league
he's
makes.
a free agent. So they're not going to do nothing. They are going to place a tag on him,
Something's
right?
going to happen by Tuesday.
Or they'll trade him.
What would y'all do?
To me,
I'd pay him.
I'd pay him also.
It's so hard to get that position right in
Yes.
the NFL.
And you've got
I mean-
a guy who can get you to the playoffs every year,
And to
right?
be honest with you, once you get there, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
Like Chiefs fans were spoiled, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a toss-up.
Oh, yeah.
We have not played easy playoff games. Last year playing Pittsburgh was an easy playoff game, but
That's it.
the year we lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game, beat the Colts, right? Beat the Colts. Had to play Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game.
Which
The year after that, we were down 24 to Houston. We were down 10 to Tennessee. We were down 10 to San Francisco.
and I think the year you guys played the Colts, the year the Chiefs played the Colts, I mean, any Chiefs fan
Snowmageddon.
Any Chiefs fan just doesn't want to play the Colts
No.
in the postseason,
No,
right?
no.
Just because,
No.
for whatever reason, the Colts have had the Chiefs number
Yep.
when it comes. I mean, forget the quarterback.
yeah,
remember the
hey.
Andrew Luck game?
Yeah.
Remember
but the
that-
fumble
hey.
comes right back to him.
Remember this year's game.
Remember the year Mariota threw a touchdown?
That's easily our worst game, right?
Yeah.
Easy.
I mean, so for
Easy.
whatever reason,
Easy.
the Chiefs struggle when they play the Colts.
Indy.
Yeah.
So it's not a team that Chiefs fans like to see.
And I don't think it's a matchup thing. I think it's a psychological thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They the team can feel the tension
So
when the Colts
Like,
are on
hey,
the
we ain't
schedule.
beat these guys.
We got a bad history against these dudes, and for former athletes and coaches, you know, you've been around sports your entire life as well. You can feel,
It's certain
You can
teams
feel that.
you're just like
You can feel
you're
that.
a
You're
little
like-
more nervous about.
like as a player, you can feel that. Like,
okay,
ugh,
so
I don't know about this.
back to Lamar. Okay, so you guys are saying what they should do, which we all agree on, right?
Yep.
And probably the contract is structured something to a Deshaun Watson contract,
That's
that
what
would
he
be, that would be
wants.
similar. He wants,
and
that.
I would do it.
But the problem is that number's $300 million.
Which Cleveland kind of screwed the whole league.
That's
on
the
that.
problem.
You got to do it though, right?
I don't
You
think you
have
have
to.
to. I don't think you have to.
You think you can say,
Snoop did the exact same thing.
"Oh, yeah, man."
You see, that's the
Yeah,
conundrum
but
that we're in. That's
they,
the conundrum that
I
we're
think
in.
they beat Cincinnati if
they have
Lamar
Lamar.
played.
I think they beat Cincinnati if Snoop doesn't try to reach the ball out from the 4-yard line.
Man, that was close too.
He wasn't even close to the goal line.
So then
if they
what's-
score that touchdown, they go up 11 with 4 minutes left.
So then, guys, what do you think is gonna happen?
I think they end up trading him.
I think they trade him.
I think they tag and trade, and that
Now-
has to happen in 5 days.
Now, who is grabbing him?
See,
New York,
The Jets.
yeah.
I think that they will get a deal done.
What does that deal look like?
I
Oh
think-
my-
It's Deshaun. man.
Here's the deal. Okay, Harbaugh's been around this league a long time,
that deal's so scary.
and I think Harbaugh is going to the organization like
This is hard
we
to
can
do.
win with this guy. He's proven it. Let's get a deal done. And I think his word carries enough weight with the new GM. Because remember, Ozzie Newsome retired.
Yep.
So it's a new GM. And so I think they get it done. Because I think your worst fear as an organization in the NFL is that you don't get a deal done with a guy and then he goes somewhere else and wins a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Baltimore does not want to see that guy win a Super Bowl somewhere else.
I got
Like
Yeah,
free
it's-
agency. Free
I think
agency. He
it's-
ends up in New Orleans,
it's. Oh
or
my
he
God,
ends or he ends up in Tampa.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
Behind that
it's
offensive line.
Jets or it's Baltimore or there's going to be some random team, and you're going to go, I never saw them doing this.
The problem is like everybody's thrown out Vegas, right? We've heard that a couple times with his name.
Mm-hmm.
You have to throw the ball in that offense.
Yeah,
Sorry. You have to throw the ball to Darren Waller. You have to throw the ball to Devontae Adams. You have to throw the ball to Hunter Renfrow. Like, I'm sorry. You got to throw the ball, and you can't just throw the ball in the seams.
he would
And
fit.
on
He
that
would.
team.
That's why he would fit really well. Jets. The
Yes.
system they run is San Francisco.
Yep.
Or that's
Or Miami.
or Miami, because McDaniel would be like, "All right, no problem. I can tailor something around." I had Tua forever. We're running. He did a really good job of getting his.
I mean,
guys in
would you
space.
take Jackson?
Oh, there's a Royal signing just broke.
Oh, really?
Who is it?
Jackie Bradley Jr.
All right, okay.
Would
He's a name now.
would you
All right,
would
yeah,
you take
okay.
Lamar Jackson over Tua?
Yeah,
Absolutely, I would.
yeah.
But for more of worry of the health. Like I don't know talent-wise if I will.
Talent-wise,
Situation-wise?
talent-wise.
Well, Tua can actually throw the ball outside the numbers.
I could design an offense around Lamar.
In the league, you have to throw the ball to win.
I don't know. Philly
They
got all the
lost.
way, but they got all the way to the Super
that's
Bowl.
true.
And to go home and win second place, congratulations. Go kiss your sister.
I mean, I'm
That's
just
literally
saying.
what they did. We made it to the Super Bowl, but we lost. Go kiss your sister. It's like kissing your sister. It doesn't do anything.
I mean, I'm not arguing. I'm just
Wait,
saying.
do you think he does end up a Jet?
I think he ends up a Jet. Like that's
And if you're the Jets, you say 2 firsts.
gone,
No problem.
gone.
Because
And-
their defense is nice.
and
Their
I,
defense,
and I
they've
think
been
my
loading up that defense.
offensive rookie of the year, right?
yeah,
Or,
Brees,
Yes.
offensive rookie of
Brees
the year.
Hall would have been. Had he
They
not
got
hurt.
defensive rookie of the year and offensive rookie of the year.
And you have a Buffalo.
Garrett
you have a-
Wilson and Sauce Gardner.
you have a-
And Brees Hall was on his way.
Man,
and look at
Until he got hurt.
that and look at the division. Buffalo, to me,
It's kind of falling apart, right?
Buffalo's in
yeah,
I think Buffalo's
stuff's
in
kind of
trouble.
getting weird, right?
Like Tremaine Edmonds is going to be a free agent on Tuesday.
It's like,
If I'm the Chiefs, bro,
Does-
I don't got to pay Willie or Nick for 3 years.
I mean-
let's go.
And now
3 years, I'll give him 3 years, $55 million. Let's roll.
we don't know why Leslie Frazier stepped down. Okay,
The
but
writing's on the wall, man. It's too hard.
if he legit thinks that they can win the Super Bowl next year,
He'd be the
he
DC.
stays.
does he step down?
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
they're not going to retain Poyer and they're not going to retain Edmonds.
So-
Well, now you've lost your best dude at the second level. Maybe Milano's right there, but you lost your best all-around linebacker at the second level, and you've lost your
You think-
best DB on the top level.
Do you think the pressure got too much for him?
For who?
Buffalo,
Yeah.
because they were anointed as the champs.
Yeah, we talked about. You mentioned it last week. It was supposed to be Allen and Mahomes, right?
Yep.
Was your new Brady and
Yep.
Manning?
And it's not.
And it died.
It's not. It's
Burrow.
Burrow.
It's Burrow.
Last week, yeah, you're right. I talked about that. You know,
Yeah.
it was Mahomes and Lamar, and then it was Mahomes and Allen, and then it was Mahomes and Herbert for like a flash in the pan. Now it's Mahomes and Burrow.
On a side note, if you're Cincinnati, I like Joe Burrow, dude.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow's nice.
Yes.
I'm looking at giving him the Mahomes contract.
I don't know, man.
10
It's
year.
hard. It's hard to do that.
Or is it a mini one?
For somebody-
like a 7-year one.
The
You
reason
don't-
Mahomes got what he got, which I think that contract actually was going to be like 350 to 400, is he put a ring on it.
Yep.
You throw a ring in there, you show that you can win.
Burrow hasn't won.
Like, Burrow hasn't
Yeah.
won anything.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he played in the Super Bowl. Great. So did Dan Marino, and he never went back.
That's true.
I mean, I feel the same about.
Like, you're going to give a dude $500
people
million
are
and
talking
never go
about
back?
are the Eagles re-signing Hurts, and to me, right now is not the time to do that.
No.
Again, he won the NFC.
Wait and see.
But if I'm the Eagles, you're still 2 years
And
out.
we agree it doesn't happen like what's going on right now in Kansas City. It doesn't happen like
No,
that.
no. I mean, it's
It doesn't happen like that.
5 years in a row.
No,
hosting the AFC.
it doesn't happen like that.
Insanely spoiled right now.
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that. Like, Kansas City people have to realize this. Like, this ain't normal.
No, it's insane.
This ain't normal. Like this year, the playoff run, like it was more personal because of how people were talking about us. But it's not normal.
All right, so Lamar, we got Jets, and back with Ravens from Gary. Derek, not as flashy. Derek Carr.
See, I think he's going to end up with the Jets.
Ooh, a lot cheaper.
Yeah, but it's just hard for me to see because he's gonna have to be in. He's got to be like he needs to be in an offense that can kind of fly around him.
But at the same time, well, when I was talking
Offensive
about
rookie of the year.
that
He was the
division,
rookie of the year.
when I was talking about that division too, you think about that. So Buffalo crumbling, Miami's hit or miss.
Yep.
I think if he goes,
the Patriots to me are very stagnant.
now we want to talk about a guy who's kind of branded himself over the last couple of years, even though they haven't had the success. Is Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I think Derek Carr could go to Miami and be like,
I think, two
Okay.
years ago,
Who's he comparable to?
2 years ago, the Raiders were a playoff team, correct?
yep.
And they lost their coach kind of halfway through the season, John Gruden deal.
Which was terrible because he came in and took him to the playoffs.
Yeah, Derek Carr was the only
Special teams
reason.
coach.
Derek Carr, think about how many coaches Derek Carr has had over his career at the Raiders.
OCs.
I mean, he
coaches.
has not had any consistency.
Nope.
So I think if he goes to a Jets, who, Buffalo is trending down. Okay, we all agree.
He's got a defensive-minded head coach.
He's got a defensive-minded head coach who came from San Francisco, who has kind of a quarterback-proof system almost,
Yeah,
right?
and I think the OC is it's LaFleur's brother, right?
Yeah.
He's a
So
San Fran guy.
Listen to me here on the Jets deal. He can say like, "Hey, I've got Derek Carr who now has some talent, and I'm sure he's still friendly with those guys in San Francisco. They can talk and say, can you help me? Give me a few tips on building an offense around this guy." Mm-hmm. And you got Breece Hall, who I know I hate on Iowa State a lot, but
Dog.
I mean,
Yeah, he's
dude's
nice.
a player.
Dog.
Dude's a player.
Dog.
And I think Derek Carr is the only reason the Raiders had any consistency over the last 10 years.
Yeah, I agree. I would
Yeah,
agree with that because
they've been through
Their
coaches.
defense has obviously been severely inconsistent.
No.
They don't have a first-round pick from the last 5 years on their team except for last year.
I mean, and they famously beat Kansas City here. They're one of Mahomes' 3 losses in the division? 2 or 3 losses?
Yep.
Yeah.
Never lost to the Broncos. Lost to the Chargers once.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's 2 or 3. So, I mean, he outdueled Mahomes here in Kansas City, which had the help of a John Gruden.
I think Mahomes
Think
was
about-
25-3 or 25-2.
some- yeah, so
And,
it's-
and the year they made the playoffs, they almost beat Cincinnati
yeah.
in a great game. It was a good game. Derek Carr
So
is,
I think if he goes to the Jets,
is,
I
a,
think-
is a nice, cheaper option.
Like I said before the show, I think if we drew it out, I'm taking Derek Carr over 25 quarterbacks in the NFL.
Ooh. So
If
you
we
have- you
drew
have-
it out.
So you have him in the top 7.
Yeah, well, I mean, if we drew it out, I'm taking it maybe top 10, so 22. I'm taking them over 22 to 25 quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, I could definitely see that.
Who's he comparable to? Like when you say this guy, same kind of guy.
Drew Brees,
Ooh.
Yep. So maybe in the right system.
maybe the right system.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about career wise, but I'm talking about the player itself.
Yeah, okay.
I think short in stature. I'm thinking short in stature. I'm thinking the right system, and I'm thinking the consistency. He doesn't turn the ball over. He's pretty accurate with the ball. He's good at all 3 levels of the defense. He reads defenses pretty well. He's not going to make the mistake that loses you the game.
And
he was that early in his career. He was the guy that was having 17, 16 interceptions a season.
And got stuck with another guy who you look at his 2 years of being a head coach, you go, I don't know about Josh McDaniels.
Yeah. I don't know about John Gruden. Those
Yeah,
years
when he
with John
came back.
Gruden were rough.
He looked like he did not know what he was doing.
I mean, I think he just needs to be in a stable environment because you saw him and Devontae last year. My God.
So what
I mean, he can throw the
wait,
ball. He can make all the throws you need to make as an NFL
Which
quarterback.
makes him an above average
So
quarterback.
what about if you're Carolina, you say, hey man,
I could see
want-
Carolina
hey,
making a move.
look at our roster. We still won 7 games.
Look at
'Cause,
our
right-
roster, and we just got rid of McCaffrey.
No. Look,
And-
we were actually playing better, and we
Frank
won
Wright-
7 games.
And if
Frank
you look
Wright-
at Frank Wright, never got the quarterback right in Indy. I mean,
yeah, he walked in that thinking Andrew Luck.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
the Chiefs retired Andrew Luck.
So he
Yeah.
got an old Philip Rivers, an old Carson
and
Wentz.
he
and
actually
that-
did
yeah.
well with Philip Rivers
They
that
won
one
the
year.
playoff.
They won the playoffs. They won 11
Yeah.
with Rivers, and they were going to make the playoffs. And Wentz played horrible the last
Oh,
2
man.
games.
He's
Which
so bad.
Carson
And
Wentz
he
got
better
cut.
not come to. He better not come to Kansas City.
No, I don't think.
I don't even know why this is a talking point.
Yeah, Carson Wentz is obviously a
If-
quarterback we didn't
Bring me
mention
Marcus
earlier.
Mariota.
Yeah, if we're spending big money on a backup, let's go Mariota.
Hey,
Bring me Mariota.
so could Carson Wentz maybe play in the XFL next year?
Sure, I think Carson Wentz is going to retire.
Probably, but I mean,
I think he's going to retire and go hunting.
I just don't
really
think.
do.
I just don't think.
I think he's
that
done.
good of a quarterback.
I don't think.
How Philly get better when he got hurt?
Right?
They won the Super Bowl.
I don't think his heart's in it, man.
His heart in it, his body in it, his
Yeah,
talent
well,
in
you
it.
ever-
I
And
mean,
he's just a small. He came from a smaller school.
You ever watched?
North Dakota State.
You ever watch his?
North Dakota State.
North Dakota State.
You ever watch his McAfee interview?
No.
When he first gets to the Colts and he interviews, Pat interviews him, and you're like, huh, he's not super passionate. And you're like, I really feel like this dude wants to make some money, retire, and just hunt the rest of his life.
Yeah.
More power to him. And Carson Wentz ain't a bad dude. He's just not a leader. From what I
To me, he looks like a serial killer.
From what we know. I just think he wants to grow a big old beard and live in the woods and hunt all the time.
Yeah.
And that's okay. Go do that.
100%.
He looks like the Prince. That's what he looks like.
So who's the next step on quarterbacks that could move?
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron, you know what?
Does anyone care?
I don't really care, but this is going to be a thing.
He's a diva.
Yes. He's going to wait for free agency to be over and ruin somebody's entire projection.
Yeah, I mean ESPN. I was watching SportsCenter earlier, or I was actually watching PTI, which comes on right before SportsCenter, and literally the lead in for SportsCenter, the commercial during PTI where they go live to the SportsCenter desk. Aaron Rodgers makes an announcement about his future. Well, I had saw earlier today he was on some podcast, and literally, basically, all he said was a decision will come soon enough. Why is that him? That's not an announcement about his future. That's him saying, like, I've made a decision, but I'm not telling you.
Exactly why 3 weeks ago, you said he's not going to retire.
No, he's not.
If you go and Green Bay right now should be going, please Lord, let's just get rid of this dude.
Well, yeah, I think the Green Bay GM spoke at the Combine in the opening press conference yesterday or the day before. Media Day, whatever. And he did not say, I want Aaron Rodgers back. He said, we'll talk to Aaron in the near future and see what's going on. Summation.
I can't do it.
You ain't
Like,
you just take the
to me, he's over it.
Take the painful year.
Yeah.
I'm over
See
it.
what you got with Jordan Love.
And get Jimmy G.
Or go get Jimmy G. Take it, with LaFleur and Jimmy G.
Go get Jimmy G. Go get Justin Fields if the Bears want off on that band.
And I'm going to tell you, as a Cowboys fan, I know last week I threw out this crazy trade scenario where they trade Dak for Aaron and all this. But
Would you
honestly,
want that?
I don't. That's where I'm going. I don't
man.
want it because it's just drama.
It's drama, and then you think about it now. He ain't winning the Super Bowl, dude.
No.
I mean, he's still a top 10 quarterback in this league, yes. But
Yeah,
I don't want the baggage that comes with him.
he's just
It's too much,
Way too much. Too
Like-
much drama.
right?
his teammates cannot like him.
No.
No.
Teammates, just like teammates don't like Russell.
And just like, when
I feel like that's more of he's a weirdo.
he is a
McCarthy left Green Bay, okay, McCarthy took pretty much all the heat, right, on the whole Aaron Rodgers. Like, everybody thought Aaron Rodgers is great. Aaron Rodgers is great. Then McCarthy just got wore down with Aaron Rodgers.
And here we are seeing it play out.
And and now we're seeing it play. Like, I think McCarthy was like, honestly saw it probably as a blessing in disguise. Like,
You know-
I don't have to deal with that guy no more.
What's weird about it is I feel like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, we know Aaron Rodgers is great. I feel like there's times where he just goes,
Yeah.
I'm shutting
I feel
down.
like there's times he checks out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, he's on that.
And-
He's on that. He's on that high
and like
Yeah.
weird part of like weird games he just checks out in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And you're like, what is this dude doing?
Yeah.
Like he just
Like,
looks
I'm not
he-
feeling it.
Look like he's going through motions. Looks like he's not super into it. Whatever.
Throws a bad
50
ball.
million.
Throws a bad ball, and he's just like with that ugly helmet with the chin strap
Yeah.
to the side.
I mean, say what you want about some of the quarterbacks in the league that are not as great as him. They're much more passionate.
Yes. Yes.
Like even your bad ones, man. They're like you're not bad. Like a Baker Mayfield is not bad. He's like average.
Yeah.
Right. Much more passionate. His teammates are like, man, I know this guy is.
See, like, that's a guy
This dude is average, but I love him.
going
love
back
Jameis
to the
Winston.
XFL, I think Baker Mayfield would kill it in the XFL.
Oh yeah, but he's staying. I
Yeah.
think he's in. Well, did you say you think he's gonna stay in LA? Be the backup?
Yeah,
in LA?
I think he'll stay in LA.
Smart
But
man. Beat Chase Daniel.
But I think I just think Aaron Rodgers, there's so much drama surrounding him. Like, I don't want it. I don't want to deal with it.
I wouldn't either.
There's so and
I'm out.
love it or hate it, okay? Dallas Cowboys, they are America's team, the star on your helmet. You get more attention if you are the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys than maybe you deserve,
Yeah.
okay? And Aaron Rodgers don't want that. Don't want that.
Or does
I think he
or
does.
does Aaron Rodgers really want that?
That's what I think.
I mean, maybe he does, but I don't want him to.
So this whole thing, right? I know we getting close on time.
Yeah.
We spend too much time.
My
with Aaron Rodgers.
whole hypothetical.
Okay.
I put it out on Facebook on Monday.
What do you got?
Something like that. What if? And I want you to hear me all the way through, and I want you to tell me what you would pay for this. The NFL is an entertainment industry through and through. They've proven it. They've proven it multiple
Yeah.
times. What if they made free agency a 2-day event? They put the coaches, general managers, and the players and the agents in one room, one conference room, at a hotel convention, something like that, right? And they had to figure all their deals out in 2 days.
And like it's speed dating.
How much money would you spend to watch that? No, my client needs this. No, my client needs that. Or, hey, I'll trade you such and such for such and such.
And it's live stream.
Live stream, pay-per-view. I'd pay $100 both days to watch that.
Watch the deals.
Just
get
because,
done.
just because there's so much drama that's spread out over 4 months, 3 months, like this whole process. Like I want to see, like I want the combine to be 2 days before this happens. I want the draft. I want the draft. I want the combine to happen 2 days before. I want free agents in 2 days after that. I want the draft right after that. I want to
That
roll.
would motivate. It would ultimate motivation for teams to get deals done before you hit that
Yes.
to retain your guys. Right?
Yes.
I ain't trying to go that.
I'm not trying to air you.
I'm not trying to go that conference room.
I'm not trying. No, I mean you still have to go in there because teams are going to come to you about offers and blah blah blah. Like,
Oh, man.
like how many panic trades would happen?
Dude. And I think we're going to get some more trades.
Like that would be awesome.
Hey, trades been happening more and more often in the NFL. I think we're going to see some this year. Jalen Ramsey comes to mind big time.
Yes.
Yeah. As we're just over an hour. So let's kind of close on this. Okay. It's rumored that Chicago Bears are looking to shop either the number 1 pick or Justin Fields. Okay. Let's not talk about all the scenarios. We'll get into that next week because we still got time before the draft. But which is more likely to happen? The number 1 pick gets traded or Justin Fields gets traded?
Number 1 pick is traded.
Number 1 pick gets traded.
I agree. I think I just think that, again, like we talked about, it's hard to get that guy right. And to me, Justin Fields has not done enough to prove that he's not that guy
He's
or that he is
Dollar
that
Tree
guy.
Lamar.
Like, jury's still out, right?
He's Etsy Lamar. I mean,
I think the jury's still out on that.
He is Marcus Mariota. He is Marcus
He
Mariota.
is Marcus Mariota. Like, all the similarities are there.
But
Struggles throwing the ball outside the seams. He wants to throw the ball in the seams consistently. And if his first read ain't there, he's looking to use them feet.
who's I don't know off the top of my head. Anybody know who the OC is in Chicago?
Nope.
So it would benefit them when we talked about the Jets calling the Niners. go pick somebody up from Shanahan's
Yeah.
staff and say, or go grab freaking Greg Roman
Yep, who just got let go by Baltimore.
and go, Greg Roman.
Hey,
we'll keep the OC we have consultant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want you to
And
be
I'm
the
gonna pay,
overseer of all
you
of
know,
this.
Because you can,
design
in the
assistant.
NFL, you can get those guys and say, we'll pay you a buttload of money to consult.
And
Yeah.
the Chicago Bears have $150 million in cap space. We know who the GM is. I don't remember his name. He's from here.
Ryan Poles.
Ryan Poles.
KC guy.
He's already tried to do the retread thing.
And him and
Which is why, and I know we out of time, but I don't want to say this. I think Chicago comes to the table with an offer the Chiefs just cannot refuse.
for who?
Chris Jones.
I think Chiefs. There is a chance Chiefs do move off Chris Jones
But I think
because they'll save a lot of money moving off Clark and Jones.
because I just think when you get the guy right, which is what the last part of the show's been about, getting the guy right. I think when you get him right, you have the availability to do such things like that. I think you can get Chicago. I think Chicago has 2 first-round picks, and they're relatively early this year via trades. I think you can get the second of their first-round picks. And now you have 2 first-round picks, and you've given up Chris Jones, and you probably get a load of trade.
And we do know how valuable a D lineman like that is, of that caliber.
Yeah,
I mean, PFF graded him second best player in the league this last year.
yeah.
So
Chiefs had 3 guys in the top 5.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of a good stopping point.
I don't want that to happen, but
One more thing we'll throw out there. We talked about it pre-show, but the Green Bay Packers. And I know people talk about the Cowboys being underachieving in the last 25 years, but the Green Bay Packers have had 2 generational quarterbacks in Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and they only have 2 Super Bowl rings to show for it.
it's an embarrassment.
I mean, and that's 30 years, right?
it's when you don't have it.
32 years.
That's
32.
to me, it's what happens when you don't have a strong owner. You don't have an owner.
Yeah.
You don't have a strong owner.
You don't
Like,
have,
to
they, don't
me-
have
to
a,
me-
they don't have a direction.
In any other team that has those 2 guys back to back, I mean, has 4 or 5, right?
And granted, we don't know, right? Because Brett Favre, what if Brett Favre was drafted by Cleveland?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, he
like
was drafted by Atlanta and
Yeah.
then traded to.
Yeah, you know,
You
we
know
just
what,
don't.
though?
We just don't know.
Think about this, though, man. Big reason why they don't. Those 2 dudes are
Divas.
Yeah,
scumbags. Divas scumbags.
Brett Favre didn't want to.
Well, I don't know.
teach Aaron.
I don't know if Rodgers is a
and Aaron
scumbag.
no, he's a scumbag.
Favre is a scumbag.
Jordan
for sure.
Love came in as a rookie quarterback last year. Why would you not help him? It's only going to make you better too.
Yeah. So
You idiot.
we're all in agreement. We're all in agreement there.
My
Definitely
barber,
massive underachievement.
my barber's dad, 3 years ago, Tim Purnell. I'll give him a shout out and I'll tag him in the video.
There you
His
go.
dad, 3 years ago in the barbershop goes, we were talking about something. He goes, man, I can't stand that diva. And actually, he used the B word that in Green Bay, but
Talking about Rodgers?
yes, that diva in Green Bay. I said, man, I like that. So now I had to use diva because of the show. But
yeah.
he calls him a female dog in Green Bay, you know.
man.
But
I know it.
I love it. I love it. And he's right.
So, yeah, we're all in agreement there. I think we could go another hour, but
Probably.
we'll cut it off here. These guys will do a show next week. I will be at a coaching clinic next week listening to Matt Rule and the Nebraska staff. So
That's cool.
But these guys will.
I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah, I am too. See what they're talking about, but I'll be there, and so we'll go from there. But I'm Gary,
This is Austin.
Hey, Gritty.
and we'll see you guys next week on Midwest Mites.